airplane right now.
Okay, now listen. The pilot always sits on the left.
Look at
The
this.
co-pilot sits on the right. The navigator sits at this table, and the flight engineer sits here. Look at how crowded, and look at all the buttons that you have to press in there.
That
Look
is-
at these telephones. There are 44 of them on the flight. The
40.
white ones are for clear communications. You just can say, "Hey, Mary, how's everything?" If it's a classified conversation, you have to
That's
use the brown
awesome.
phone. I'll show you some of them.
I've never been in an airplane. Oh, yeah. This is a chair.
Oh, I got great kids yesterday.
Okay, come this way so you can hear.
Now you guys all stand, gather around. We can put some back here.
Okay, now listen.
Tall ones back here.
Anytime, come on, anytime you're in a plane or a boat, the kitchen is called the galley. So this is the forward galley right here. The food is not prepared here. It's brought in from wherever it's made, and then it's warmed up here and served to the guests. This is the communication center. Notice, please, the laptop computers from 1972. Notice the thumb drive over there. It looks like a floppy disk. So the president, here's his picture. Here's President Reagan coming and talking to the two Air Force specialists who sat here, and he would just say, "Connect me with Gorbachev." And 5 minutes later, he was talking with the president of the Soviet Union. So this communication center allowed the president to talk to anybody, anywhere in the world,
Thank you.
and we called it the Flying White House. Okay? Come this way, please.
That's where they would sleep?
The president's stateroom. And notice the president's jacket with the presidential seal right there.
So that's actual jacket.
That's an artifact. Notice, please, the
Phone
phone.
can take pictures.
Notice,
I'm
please, the
recording, and he
presidential
said, yeah.
seal. We've gone through all of this.
You sealed the seal. Get it? You sealed the seal.
Look at, we're in an airplane. This is amazing.
Okay, this is the First Lady's stateroom. And what I want you to notice, listen, what I want you to notice is that there are no showers in here. There are no bedrooms in here. When they wanted to sleep, they'd pull out the bed from underneath the couch, and that's where they got to sleep. He was 6'1", she was only 5'4". She had a much better time of it than he did.
Look at this.
Here is a conference room where they worked while they were flying. And notice, please, the president up here working with his staff. And the president's chair is right here. He had a chair in each room. Here he is with First Secretary Gorbachev.
Why do they have jelly beans?
He had jelly beans in every place.
What? He liked them?
Yeah.
He liked jelly beans?
Yeah. Okay, so listen, the question was asked, listen everyone, the question was asked, why jelly beans? It's actually Jelly Bellies. They're a different product. But he smoked the pipe when he met Mrs. Reagan, Nancy Davis, and she did not like him smoking and asked him to give it up. And he used that Nicorette gum that we have today. He got hooked on Jelly Bellies, and that's why he's eating Jelly Bellies.
They're so good.
Yeah. Okay, this guy
I thought that was
is
a real man.
This is a replica. She's not old enough to be an artifact. Her name is Lorraine, and by the way, she's a retired school principal, so you guys better shape up. This young man is Lieutenant Colonel Steve Cheelander, and he used to be with President Reagan, and he handled that football that we saw in the communication center. When he retired, he gave us his uniform, and you can see him right here when he was on duty in this airplane, and you can see we've given him a few more hair, and we've taken a couple of pounds off, but basically that's the same guy. Notice, please, how comfortable this flight was when you were in a long-distance flight. Does anybody remember in your history when President Reagan went to Berlin and he said, "Mr. Gorbachev, if you want to have peace in this part of the world, tear down that wall"? Do you remember that speech? Here he is arriving in Berlin to make the speech, and here's the typewriter that the speech was typed on.
We don't have these anymore because we have computers.
Thanks, Lorraine.
But I like this.
Okay, come this way, please.
Most children, when I ask them what that is, and when they don't know, I tell them.
They do have a lot of phones.
Yeah, but I'll show you some brown ones. Okay, this was for the president's staff and the president's guests. President, remember I said he was coming out of the airplane and waving? Here's where all of his security guards sat during the flights.
Is that actual sugar cubes?
Huh?
Are those real sugar cubes?
Yes, they are, but they're 25-year-old. They've been in there all this time.
Oh. Are they still edible?
No, they're not. Why? Okay, this is where the press would sit when the press flew with the president. And in order to make sure everybody got the same treatment, the press had to pay for their airfare, just like everybody else did.
I want to see them.
Now remember I told you there was a forward galley and an aft galley?
Okay.
Notice this is much bigger. So there were 52 passengers and a crew of 18. A total of 70 people flew in this airplane. So this back rear galley handled about the last 50 of them, and the front one handled the first 20. Now the story about this cake. When President Reagan was about to take off, he knew if anybody was going to have a birthday while they were gone. He knew if anybody was going to have an anniversary while they were gone. And he found out what that person's favorite dessert was. And when they were airborne and there was time, he would present that person with a piece of their favorite dessert saying, thank you for sacrificing and being with me while it's your special day.
Are those cups real too?
That's real, but it's 25 years old. You don't want to buy it. This is a replica. She is not old enough. Her name is Cynthia.
Hi there.
Best group we've had in 100 years.
I was going to say, if nobody had a birthday, they ate the cake anyway.
Oh yeah, they ate the cake anyway.
Have a great day, guys.
We just came out of the airplane. On the other side.
Okay, now, look at this mural on the wall here.
Look at all these airplanes.
The mural is called The History of the Flying White House. And it starts
I'm not even taking...
with the first president to ever fly in an airplane. Anybody know who that was? No, there were no airplanes in Washington.
Left the Mexican spy. Shut up. You're annoying. Energy force. I think we're gonna go in the helicopter right now. So, next video.